Hey guys, welcome to day 26. Today we are going to talk about equations of lines in slope-intercept form. Okay, so slope-intercept form is always in the form of y is equal to mx plus b. Okay, and it's called slope-intercept form. So let's fill out our notes, slope-intercept form. Okay, because m in the equation identifies the slope. Oh, sorry about that. So this right here, the m, is actually the slope. Okay, and the b right here is the y-intercept. Okay, it's where it crosses the y-axis. Okay, so right here, if this was the line, the y-intercept would be right here where it crosses. This is the y-axis. So in this case, the b would be 1 to negative 3. And in this case, the slope would have to be rise over run, which would be positive 1. Okay, so the slope in this case, like I said, is negative. The y-intercept is negative 3, and the slope is 1. So to find out what the slope is, you're going to begin with the point B, and then find the next point by doing rise over run. So rise over run, rise over run. You can see where it's consistently 1. And then you would connect the points with a line. Okay, so if we had an equation that was already in slope-intercept form, you can see y is equal to mx plus b. We're just going to look at the coefficient that's before the x variable, or the input variable, and that's going to be our slope. So in this case, the 2 would be just the slope. And keep in mind, it does not include the x. It's just the coefficient. And in this case, the y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis, would be a positive 5. So it's going to be 5. All right, always look at before the 5 if you have a plus or you have a minus. Okay, so number 2, we have a variable coefficient, and that's fine. It's 2/3 is our slope. And this could also be written as 2x over 3. Okay, you've got to pull it out and identify that that would be a slope of 2/3. And in this case, the y-intercept is actually a negative 6. Okay, number 3, your slope is going to be a negative 3/5. And your y-intercept is going to be a positive 8. So these are pretty easy because they're already in slope-intercept form, so it's easy to pull out the slope is negative 3, y-intercept is positive 2. The slope is 1/2, and in this case, there is no y-intercept because it's just like saying 1/2 x plus 0, so we just write 0. What does that mean? It means that it's actually going to cross right here at the origin. That's where the y-intercept of 0 would be. Okay, if I look at number 6, my slope is negative 7 and my y-intercept is negative 1. Okay, if I look at number 7, right here, we've got, in this case, y is equal to 5. This is a special case. So I'm going to think of Hoy. All right, remember Hoy, this tells us y equals, notice this is y equals. This is a horizontal line. And this is a horizontal line, so the slope is actually 0, and the y-intercept is actually going to be at 5. All right. Now, number 8 is also a special case. In this case, we think of the special case for a vertical line because x equals, and here we see x. X is equal to negative 7. So our slope is actually undefined, and our y-intercept is actually, if we just have x is equal to negative 7, it's where it's going to cross. We have a vertical line. We're actually never going to cross the y-axis. That's also undefined. Right? Because we would have x is negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A vertical line, and if you notice it keeps going on and on forever, it would never cross the y-axis. Okay, this is your y. All right, if I looked at number 9, y is equal to 4x. This is not a special case. It's just that the slope is going to be 4, and the y-intercept is going to be 0. Because again, it's like adding a 0. All right, identify the slope and y-intercept, then graph the line. Okay, so if I look at this already in slope-intercept form, so my slope is 2, my y-intercept is at negative 3. So I'm going to graph the line. I'm going to start at my y-intercept, which is at negative 3. 1, 2, 3. My slope is 2, so I'm going to think of rise over run. and I start at, my rise is 2, my run is 1. So it's positive. I'm going to rise 2, run 1, rise 2, run 1, rise 2, run 1. Once I have about 2 or 3 points, I can make the line. It should look like that. All right, if I looked at number 11, my slope is 1/2. My y-intercept is 2. So my y-intercept of 2 would be right here. This is the y-axis. My slope is 1/2. So rise over run would give me 1/2. So I'm going to start here and rise 1 and go to the right 2. Or I can go down 1 and to the left 2. Okay, either way, you're going to get this line. And I like to usually check and say, okay, does that have a slope, a positive slope? Yes, it does. This one has a positive slope. All right, number 12, though, has a negative slope. Negative slope is -2/3. The y-intercept is 5. I'm going to start at 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's my starting point. My rise over my run would give me -2 divided by 3. Or we could write it as 2 over -3. Okay, but you don't want to have both the rise and the run negative, or that would be a positive slope. So if we start at 5, we're going to, in this case, we're going to go down 2 into the right 3. Okay, we can't go up 2, so we're going to go down 2 again, and over 3. It's going to be right about here, so this is what our line would look like. Okay, now from here, we've got number 13. Number 13 says y equals 2x minus 4. My slope is 2. My y-intercept is -4. So we're going to start at -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And my slope is 2. Rise over run. Okay, would be 2 over 1. So we're going to rise 2 and over 1. Rise 2 over 1. Rise 2 over 1. Okay, so it should look like that. Okay, here's my equation. Number 14, slope is 1/2, y-intercept is 1. So rise over run would be 1/2 for my slope. So rise 1 over 2, rise 1 over 2. Equation looks like this. The graph looks like that. Okay, so in this case, my slope is 3. My y-intercept is 0. So I'm going to start at the origin and rise 3. Okay, I can go off the graph, so I can also go down 3 and to the left 1. Something like this. All right, I'm going to pause right here at number 15, and I'm going to ask that you try the rest, and then come back and let's see how you did. Actually, let's go up to 21, okay, and then come back. So pause right here, and then try up to 21, and we'll see how you did. Okay, so let's move on to number 16. My slope for number 16, if you notice the coefficient in front of the x is actually 1. Even though it's invisible, and my y-intercept is -1. I'm going to start at -1. A slope of 1 is a rise of 1 and a run of 1. So it would look like this. Rise 1, run 1. So your graph should look like this. Okay, 17, my slope is -2. My y-intercept is 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is where I start, +4. My rise is going to be -2, and my run is 1. So I'm going to go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. So if I look at this, I have a negative slope. 18, my slope is 1, my y-intercept is 3. So I start at my 3, 1, 2, 3. My slope is 1. So I'm going to rise 1 over 1, or I could go down 1 to the left 1. It's going to look like this. Okay, 19. Sometimes you have to rewrite the equation before you can determine the slope and the y-intercept of the linear equation. So notice, we have to get it into slope-intercept form. In this form, you're going to have to memorize y equals mx plus b. So all we have to do is use our knowledge of literal equations and get y by itself. So to do that, we use our algebra. Okay, equations of lines. I'm actually going to add 3x to both sides. I'm going to rewrite this as y is equal to 3x minus 4. Once I have it in that form, I can put out my slope and my y-intercept. Okay, my y-intercept is -4. 1, 2, 3, 4. My slope is 3. So I've got my rise over my run, which would be 3 over 1. I'm going to rise 3, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. 1, 2, 3, and over 1. So there's the equation of my line. Okay, or the graph of my line. All right, number 20. I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides and rewrite this as 3y is equal to 2x minus 6. And then I'm going to divide each term by 3. So when I simplify, I get y is equal to 2/3 x minus 2. So from there, I can pull out my slope, which is 2/3, and my y-intercept is negative 2. Start at negative 2. All right, when I have a slope of 2/3, my rise is 2, and my run is 3. So rise 2, run 3. Okay, rise 2, run 3. I'm off the graph. It's okay. Or I could go down 2 and to the left 3. So down 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's going to be on the same line. All right, 21, I'm going to subtract x from both sides and get 4y is equal to negative x plus 12. And then I divide everything by 4, so I get y is equal to negative 1/4 x. Okay, we're dividing 12 by 4 plus 3. So my y-intercept is 3. My slope is negative 1/4. Running out of space here. So y-intercept of 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, if I've got a negative 1/4, remember only 1 can be negative, rise over run. So we're going to go down 1 to the right 4. Okay, or I could go up 1 and to the left 4. Okay, there's my line. Okay, now it says make sure the equation is in slope-intercept form. Identify the slope and the y-intercept, and then graph the line. So we're in slope-intercept form. My slope is going to be negative 1. My y-intercept is 0. There's nothing there. So we start at the origin for 0. I rise over my run would be negative 1 over 1. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right, down 1 to the right, down 1 to the right, and then I can graph my line. Okay, here my slope is negative 1/2. It's already in slope-intercept form, and my y-intercept is negative 3. So I'm going to start here at negative 3, and my slope, so I've got negative 1/2. Here's my rise over run. Okay, I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2, or I could go up 1 and to the left 2. Okay, there's my equation right there. All right. Let's rewrite number 24 and bring the x to the other side. So y is equal to negative x minus 1. And therefore, my slope is negative 1, and my y-intercept is also negative 1. So I'm going to start right here. And my slope is negative 1. So negative 1 over 1 would be my rise over my run. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 1, down 1 to the right 1, okay, or up 1 to the left 1. And I've got my graph with a negative slope. Okay, we've got 3 more to do. I want you to try, we actually have a bunch more. So let's keep going. We're probably going to have to pause and get into a second video. So looking at number 25, my slope is 2. My y-intercept is 0. So 0. And then I'm going to rise 2 and over 1, because my rise over my run, 2 over 1. Rise 2 over 1, or go down 2 into the left 1, because remember, you could do a negative 2 over negative 1. It's going to give you the same equation of line. All right, 26, I'm going to work it down here. I'm going to take my 8 and bring it to the other side. Actually, I can do it right here. 4y is equal to 3x minus 8. Okay, I'll rewrite that here. 4y equals 3x minus 8. But when I divide both sides by 4, like this, I end up with y is equal to 3/4 x. And then negative 8 divided by 4 is a negative 2. So from here, my slope is 3/4, and my y-intercept is negative 2. So I'm going to start here at negative 2, and I'm going to rise over run. So rise and run, rise would be 3, run would be 4. Rise 3, 1, 2, 3, run 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could go down 3, 1, 2, 3 to the left 4. Okay, and I draw my line. All right, 27, if I